Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Several issues with this piece of legislation, and I've really struggled understanding what this is about, because I know it's not about immigration, because our country has a broken immigration system, and this isn't going to fix it. It's going to discriminate against innocent children who have no idea whether or not they're documented or not. So this is an education bill about punishing innocent children. And the one thing I've given up on trying to compel people with empathy or heart, love, anything like that. So I'm going to talk money. And one thing that this thing says in the recitals is that illegal immigration is a drain on state resources. Now, this ain't going to fix illegal immigration. But let's talk about state resources. This bill would drain over $1 billion in federal funds from the state to carry out an unconstitutional policy. LEAs would lose $70 million plus in TISA funding. The lack of education, there's data across the board showing it can significantly impact life outcomes that would cost the state of Tennessee billions of dollars. Lower earning potential, increased risk of poverty, reduced access to health care, shorter lifespans, higher risk of crime. All these things cost the state of Tennessee money, and all the direct results of kids not finishing high school. 75% of crime in the U.S. is committed by high school dropouts. These are people who don't even have a high school diploma, and here we are voluntarily taking that opportunity away in the land of opportunity. This makes no sense. On a per capita basis, immigrants are about 80% more likely to start a business than U.S.-born citizens. 46% of all Fortune 500 companies were founded by immigrants and their children. 230 companies generated $8.6 trillion in fiscal year 23. If that was a standalone country, they would have been the third largest economy in the world. Immigrant-founded businesses are 35% more likely to have a patent in this country. All of this equals money and benefit to the state of Tennessee. None of this is possible without an education to which these children are constitutionally guaranteed. For a reason, Article 11, Section 12 was adopted in 1978 by the state of Tennessee, because one of the part of that constitutional provision that is left out of these recitals is, quote, the state of Tennessee recognizes the inherent value of education. That part of that sentence is purposely left out of these recitals. But, even prior to 1978, the state of Tennessee, with its foresight and forethought, had a provision that read, knowledge, learning, and virtue being essential to the preservation of Republican institutions. Because we have known from the very beginning, through the course of history, where we have seen increased immigration throughout the periods of United States history, we have seen the value of education to every child. That has never been disputed. We know the negative ramifications of denying education to children. I just read off a whole litany of problems with the legislation and the economic ramifications of denying children education. 430,000 immigrants in Tennessee paid $4.4 billion in taxes. That is well over the TISA base amount for their children's education. They are not a drain on the state of Tennessee. If we want to drain funds from the state of Tennessee, deny children an education. There is nothing fiscally sound about this, and we know it's not going to fix the broken immigration system in this country. So if we want to fix broken immigration, call your president, call the U.S. senators, call your congressman, run for office. There's a seat open in the 6th Congressional District. Go to D.C. Go fix immigration, please, because I'm sick of dealing with it at the state of Tennessee where we have no jurisdiction. And don't tell me denying children an education is going to fix it. This is not about a broken immigration system or illegal immigration. This is about denying innocent children of their right, of their God-given right, as guaranteed by this state constitution, to get an education as upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. If I sound frustrated and I sound mad as hell, it's because I am. We cannot keep doing this to our children. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the long rope you've given me and the leash to get this off my chest, but there is nothing in this that speaks to good public policy. There is nothing in here that has even a hint of love in it. We are better than this. We must be better than this as a state. This is not why any of us ran for office. And you know, I find it very convenient, I'll finish here, that we're going to sit up here behind these limestone walls and tell someone else they have to walk into a classroom, take a child by the hand, escort them out of that building, and tell them they can't come back in, when not one of us sitting in this room would do it ourselves. And if you would, I question your ability and your talents as a legislator, because you don't belong here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Leader Lameth, you wish to respond?
Thank you to my colleague from Davidson County. I'm sure you spent some time over the weekend thinking about that, and I appreciate you sharing it with us.
Representative Fritz, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the sponsor of the bill, I appreciate you carrying it. Lots of energy behind my colleague from Davidson County. We're not talking about immigrants, we're talking about illegals. There is a distinct difference.
Please, folks, we've done a nice job today. Let's keep this civil, please.
There is a distinct difference. 14th Amendment, both Section 1 and Section 4 help us understand that. There is no greater act of rebellion in these United States than illegally coming across that border. And so I would offer that when you read the 14th Amendment, take some time with it and understand that that's an all-encompassing document. It is timeless. Those words are timeless. While they were written following the Civil War, and the use of the word rebellion certainly between the Confederacy and the Union. But there is no greater act of rebellion in the United States than to illegally cross into these United States. And the last thing I would offer would be this, that we don't necessarily have a broken immigration system now. President Trump's correcting that.
Thank you for your comments.